Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Blind Podcast with Raven and Reeve.
I'm your host, Raven.
I'm your host, Ree. And if you're coming back from our last episode, then this one we're going to be talking about the 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 coming of the Twilight Resurrection, Resurgence, Revival, Renaissance.
hmm
So,
That's what, that's what we're gonna.
where should we
That's gonna be
start?
the
Because
title
there's a
of this.
lot to unpack.
Yeah. So, um, since since Midnight Sun came out, Twilight was already kind of in a renaissance. You said on Tumblr there
Yeah.
was like a little bit of a scene going on there.
Yeah. So I joined Tumblr back in like 2017 was when I made my Tumblr account. And then it was like 2018 um that I had started getting back into Twilight because I started seeing posts, and then my friend who I have from high school and back home, who was also a big Twilight fan, she was all like, she was starting to send me stuff from like posts that were on Tumblr, and so the Twilight Renaissance kind of kicked off on Tumblr, where it was just main discourse. People were sharing, head canons and imagines and fics and shit posting and memes, and then it wasn't until, and then it started like getting more popular and growing big and big, and then it just kind of exploded when 2020 hit, and then it kind of also transitioned to TikTok because I actually found some of my Tumblr mutuals on TikTok
hmm
where we were just like all of a sudden like we were messaging, and then we were just so like, wait a minute, you were on Tumblr, I was on Tumblr, what was your user? And then it's like, oh, we follow each other on Tumblr. So it was really cool when like that happened. I was like, oh my god, I think I found at least 3 people from Tumblr on TikTok. It
Yeah.
was crazy, small world.
Yeah. It was just. I really got into it just because, quarantine happened and then I started watching the movies and then I, became kind of a thing on Twilight TikTok. And then, at the time not a lot of people were making Twilight TikToks. It was like a handful of us that were,
Yeah.
kind of
Shout
about
out
it.
to Chat.
Now there's like lots of people that make Twilight content on TikTok, where they just, they criticize it or they talk about what they liked or what they didn't like and things like that, or the problematic ideas of Twilight and things like that. And I think that was really caused, I think, in heavy by Midnight Sun.
Yeah.
We left on last episode talking about how Midnight Sun kind of like caused, I think, a spiral for the fandom. There was already people making maybe Twilight merch and things like that, but there was more people now trying to become a part of the Twilight Instagram scene, the Twilight Etsy shop scene. There was already podcasts about it, but I can
Yeah.
imagine that after Midnight Sun that there was like more podcasts that were being made. I mean, we made a
From
podcast,
us. Yeah.
Um,
I think it just also with the whole resurgence and all that is it came at a time where people were all like, oh my goodness, like I used to love this series, but I got made fun of. And they could
mm,
really like find people and have that sense of belonging, like, wow, it's like I'm not gonna get judged for the fact that I like this series, I like these books. Whereas 10 years ago when Twilight ended, there was that weird period in time where if you were a Twilight fan, people looked at you weird. They were like, really? You're still on about that stuff?
mm,
Whereas compared to people who like Star Wars and Marvel and Harry Potter, it's still socially acceptable. Whereas, Twilight, like I love all 3 of those things, but people wouldn't give me weird looks for that. But as soon
mm,
as I said, oh, I love Twilight, they're like, seriously, you're still on about that?
yeah, and
So
I think
it's
also
kind of like
like
the Renaissance brought that weight.
yeah. And I think a like a big thing about that, I'm like trying to go to like their like the official page, but they don't really post like a lot of news there. but let me what is there's a page that posts a lot of like Twilight related stuff, and I totally forgot what it was. But I think that Midnight's Sun being released was the start of it being like socially acceptable to like Twilight, you know? Um, or it was
Yeah.
just like there's a newer generation that's liking it, and the older generation were kind of like, oh, so like they're not gonna make fun of us for liking it because they like it too, you know? And so it just became this
Yeah.
like really cool thing to like. Um, and with the start of we see lots of you know after Midnight Sun came out, we started seeing more of the Twilight actors doing more things related to the Twilight universe. For example, I know like a big one was, Taylor Lautner has been pretty much out of scene. We did an episode on Twilight actors and where they've been and things like that. And when we talked about Taylor, he wasn't seen as like a really big actor after Twilight. Unfortunately, he got cast in a
Yeah.
couple of movies, and I think I
He was
guess
an
it
abduction, and
yeah.
it kind of flopped.
Yeah, and so he kind of went silent for a little bit, and then he was just kind of like posting a normal life on Instagram,
Yeah.
he
Doesn't he have like a vineyard,
yeah,
or he
I think
goes and he owns, or he goes to a
I
lot of
think
them.
he owns one. If I'm not mistaken, I think he owns one. Well, and now and then there was like the news that that he's engaged and he's getting married. Um which is amazing. But he still hadn't really talked about Twilight. And I feel like all the stars at some point, there was a couple that had been like silent about Twilight up until recently, and we'll talk about why. But yeah, so basically, the first time that we ever saw Taylor talk about Twilight after him kind of being quiet about it was when he went on Jimmy Kimmel and did that little Bella, where have you been, Loca? Where the hell have you been, Loca, with Jimmy, right? And everyone
Um,
was like, shut it down. What's going
eating it
on
up.
right now? Yeah, like it was great. And then that was like, it was kind of like silent again for a little bit from him. And then up until recently,
Yeah.
there's a convention happening somewhere, like a fandom convention,
Near me.
and Taylor
It's in
and
Charleston, South Carolina.
Peter Facinelli are both gonna go, um, which is crazy because like
Wait,
Taylor,
Peter's going to the one
I think so too. I think I saw both of them on it, but it's crazy because Taylor has not done a Twilight related event in
since
years.
2012.
Yeah, so that's
I mean, the
crazy.
last thing he went to was the premiere. The thing, and like also going off with like the actors coming out and doing stuff, it's like Peter and Billy had never been to FTF before, despite FTF being around for almost 10 years.
Hmm.
And last year was Peter's first go at FTF. And now this year it's going to be Billy's first time, because Billy was supposed to go last year, but then
Yeah.
scheduling conflicts, ended up having to drop it. So
We'll see, and also because the fact that
and like Helen and Jackson were at a convention recently.
yeah. Oh, sorry, because you froze a little bit. But yeah, so I think at some point Ashley, Jackson, and Kellen were all at a convention together. And the before FTF, I had did an
Yeah.
online convention and met Peter and Ashley. So it just like
Yeah.
slowly and by surely we started seeing there like kind of something happening, not to where it's only fandom
Robert.
wise, but actor wise. We started seeing things slowly come up again.
Yeah. Robert on the press tour for the Batman, he did an interview with Zoe, and I guess the interview was like, Zoe, have you seen Twilight? And she was like, no, I wasn't really into that. Like, she was saying some things, and he just goes, "It's so 2010 to be a hater."
It
Like,
is, yeah.
like what?
Well,
I'm
but
like,
like
wait, Rob, Rob, I can go do a compilation right now and pull up your hateful
of when
train,
you were
but
a
I'm here
hater.
for it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but then
character
also
development.
when he was also doing press, they did like they went through his filmography or whatever, and he talked about
Yeah.
Twilight and like his time on it, and so it was just interesting seeing like all these actors, and it was like, what is happening? What is going on, right? And then, I mean, and then I think I didn't realize it until last year at FTF, um, but there was like a podcast going around, and they were doing a podcast documentary about Twilight Saga. I
Yeah.
think I've heard mixed reviews about it. I haven't listened to it fully. Have listened to the last. I think we talked about it here before, but I did listen to the
Yeah.
last episode because it has like some of us like singing, and you can hear me, and so I was like, ah,
Yeah.
right.
I
But
I listened to it. Ajay and Jazz are in it, so
mhm,
I listened to it.
yeah, but yeah. So then that was super cool because it was like, whoa, like they were just going around and talking to Twilight fans, and it was just a really cool thing. And then that came out, and there was like some hype around that. And I just think that I don't know what I think everyone who has participated in the Twilight Renaissance as far as like content creating or making, merch or merch because, they can't really make merch like that, but
Yeah.
uh, has had a hand in helping whatever is going on right now because
Yeah.
something is in the air. It's like
I don't
Twilight season.
I feel like I feel like, with just the timing and with the actors, it's been 10 years since Breaking Dawn was released. I feel like we're going to get like, next year will be 15 years since the first movie came out. And I feel like we're going to get a reunion at some point, like in the next couple years.
They might do like a reunion interview or like sit down tell all or something, or
Yeah.
even something that's filmed or I don't know.
Yeah.
That I mean, that could be in the works. They did I think they did something for the 10 year. I think there was something
Jackson Jackson had went with Catherine Hardwick to like the Cullen house,
yeah.
and because I watched it on YouTube.
Yeah.
So
And
that was
so
that was in 2018.
I think they might have something planned, but Ashley Green now has a podcast called The Twilight Effect. And actually,
Yeah.
when I met her, when I did the Zoom interview, I think it was in November of 2020, either 2020 or 2021. I don't remember. No, November 2020. Wait.
Yeah. It was, I think, 2020.
Well, when I talked to her then, she had told me that she wanted to start a podcast. Because
I know she did.
I told her that we had, a Twilight podcast, and she did a little shout out for us and whatnot. And she was like, yeah, like, I've been thinking about starting a pod, like she didn't necessarily say a Twilight podcast, but she said a podcast and like maybe have some fans on and things like that, which she has held up. She has had some fans on there. I haven't listened to all of it. I've getting sneak little peeks here and there, but so and now she's had actors on and
Yeah,
talk
I saw she
about.
had Peter.
She had Peter. I think she had Nikki.
She had
I think
Kellen, I
Kellen,
think.
maybe even Jackson. I think.
Yeah.
And so I think now from her podcast, we're getting a lot of like different news about things that went on behind the scenes and things like that. Um, and then so it was like after her podcast, then we started seeing a lot of like more, kind of people come out and talk about it, at least actor wise. And one day, someone decided, uh, someone who worked at Hot Topic was like, "Hey, like we like they used to Hot Topic used to pop off with all their merch, Twilight merch back then. So like, what if we still have some things in stock? And so she like went and searched up on their site Twilight, and there was two Twilight shirts for sale on their website.
There's four now.
There's four now, but well, so the first two were just classic. It was like a black and white tie-dye washed shirt that has Edward and it says Team Edward, which the picture that they use for that shirt is horrendous. I hate that picture of
Yeah.
him. He looks like a
It's not
frog,
a good picture.
but I'll get past it. The second one is the same kind of black and wash acid washed shirt with Jacob on it, and it says Team Jacob, and everyone was like, "What the hell?"
It's like y'all coming out now. Like it is 2022. We are literally back in the late 2000s.
Mm-hmm. And
Oh,
then I think and then they had pre-orders for that, went immediate, like so quick. Then a couple days later, someone checked it again. There was another shirt on there, and people were like, "What is going on?" And I think that one was the Bella Edwards shirt. Like
mm,
it's the movie cover or And then obviously pre-order quick. People are already getting their shirts from Hot Topic. I know some I think Emily got her shirt already or some other people have gotten their shirts. Um I I know some person said that like they couldn't ship it, like they couldn't get it shipped to them. So they went to their local Hot Topic and was like, "Can you order this shirt for me?" And they ordered it, and she went and picked it up at her local Hot Topic. So if you're not able to get it shipped to you, go to Hot Topic and ask them. They might be able to order it for you. Um, and then a couple days
I'm
later,
just gonna see if they,
yeah, a couple days later,
let's see if they still have some.
yeah, who knows? But someone searched up Twilight again, and there was a fourth shirt, and it is a like kind of bluish, like cloudy with three pictures of Edward. Oh no, what
Yep,
is it? They're all
I can see
there.
it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
they're
was
all
like,
there.
is there something
They had
else?
no, because they added like the different sizes because there's six because they added plus size options.
Mm,
So there's six available, but they only have the team Edward and the Edward collage for plus size,
oh,
and
okay.
then they have the other four for regular
You know
like
what
girls
I want?
t-shirts.
I want a Marcus collage.
Yes.
I want to wear it
We
to
need more
FTF.
Marcus.
I need more Marcus. Um, but yeah, so that is one thing that's been recent that people are freaking out about. And then someone made a video on TikTok. I forgot their username, but she said that she made a video about Hot Topic releasing Twilight merch, and that Hot Topic commented on her video and said, "Just wait," with a little smirky face.
Well,
Uh,
okay, that like gets me scared because I was low key just about to order this shirt right here, but then I'm all like, if Hot Topic is about to bring something else, I feel like I should wait.
I don't. Yeah, I'm like, I don't know. They just put "just wait," and then I found out that Walmart. If you go into Walmart.com and you type in Twilight trading cards in the search bar, they're selling Twilight trading cards for $10. Uh huh.
Oh,
I know. And I
I have a new pack. I kind of no, I have an Eclipse pack. I want some more.
let me see what they have because I just heard about it and I was like, oh my gosh, let me go look. And so I went and looked, but I forgot. Um. Oh, okay. I don't know if you can hear my cats are going crazy. So obviously, if you search up Twilight, they already have like they have you can go and buy the five movie collection. You can buy a book at Twilight probably. Now they did have the Forever the complete saga that has like the really pretty storybook thing with pictures. Um, Oh, look,
Yeah.
I'm seeing here you can get the director's notebook. I literally let me put Twilight trading cards. I just put Twilight, so there's just random things popping up. Twilight trading cards. So there is a new moon for $10, an Eclipse Series 2 for $7, uh Eclipse Series 1 for $5. And then they're selling a whole box of them for $62. So there are some things
For six
like,
for all.
yeah, because it's like the whole box. You know how like if you were to go buy like Pokemon cards, they come in like a box and there's like individual packs in them, and then you can just take the whole box. Well, they're selling the whole
Yeah.
box for 62. I don't know how much is
Ooh.
for sale or whatever, or like how much comes in it, or I don't know. But they so far they have the new moon, they have Eclipse Series 1 and Eclipse Series 2. So if you're looking for some more cool things to add to your collection, go to Walmart.com and order them, or go to Hot Topic and order them. My goal, my wish, not my goal, my wish is that two things. One, first thing, that with this new kind of like resurgence going on, that we either one, get the vinyls re-released, or two, we get the Bella bedding released from Target.
That, oh my God. I remember when Sam had her
Petition.
petition, and I remember signing it and sharing it, and like, yeah, because I want that.
I want it so bad. I want to replace my bedding that I have now.
And hey, Funko, if you can re-release the Funko Pops,
Yeah,
because I'm tired of seeing $100 ones on eBay.
I'm just hoping that
Like,
with this little resurgence that's going on, that there's more things that are going to be starting to be available, because it is super crazy where people
yeah.
are. I could probably take the thing that I bought from Cat, and I don't want to say how much I bought it for, because I mean it was not super expensive, very reasonably priced, but I could probably go and sell it on eBay for a couple $100 if I wanted to. I could probably go
Oh
sell a
yeah,
lot.
the
I can
two that
probably
I got, like I
very
could
reason. I mean,
easily get like triple digit out of each of them
the
because
same thing for
they're worth a lot.
half the things that I have in my collection, like the freaking the graphic novels. Like literally, people buy stuff, or or maybe they're buying it at a lower price and they're reselling it for a lot of money. And not that people shouldn't do that. There's people that obviously do that in at trading conventions and stuff like that. But and it's novelty items, because obviously we don't have to have them, but like
Yeah,
just the fact that it's like so not easily accessible to everyone, um
yeah.
it sucks.
Like we're lucky.
Yeah.
And plus,
So,
like we have FTF where they have the bazaar and like it's available, but not everyone can go to FTF and get their hands on some of these things.
oh yeah.
So it's
And I
like the
and I
fact
feel
that there
like
is a resurgence.
at FTF, like things are also reasonably priced. Like I never see them being sold for crazy amounts. So that's also like
Oh,
good
unless
on.
they're like the only thing that I saw at FTF that was like, pretty pricey were the Barbie dolls because
Yeah.
those are collector's editions and all that. Like the poster right here, the guy sold me that for $3. So, and like, I mean, I got this from Kat. She sold these, and I think this was 15, and that's reasonably for, this was handmade
Yeah.
and all that. It's nice quality.
Yeah, I mean,
So,
I think like at FTF a lot of things are reasonably priced. I also bought a cup from Cat, super cute. Um, and so yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, I just think there is and so talking just to kind of talk about the Cullen House a little bit. It recently got sold. We have no idea who they got sold to, who's the new owners. We do know how much it sold for. So let me go
Ooh.
search that up real quick. Um, Let me see. So it was up for sale for $3.3 million, but I believe it got sold for maybe like so it got sold for oh, it actually says who it was sold to.
Oh,
It says let's see. So it only
this
has four
wish.
bedrooms, three bathrooms. Um
What? I would have thought more bedrooms, but then again, we saw the house in the movie, like the interior in the first
yeah.
one. So,
Okay, actually hold on. So the previous owners bought the house for 2.5 million. The new owners mm, I can't find it. I think it sold for probably around like 2.8 or like close to 3 million. Something like that. Yeah. It sold for like,
big
upper two
money.
yeah, upper 2 millions, lower 3 millions. But um I mean, we don't know if the new owners are going to close it off or put a gate, or maybe they're Twilight fans and they want to make it an Airbnb, but you never
It
know.
would be a beautiful Airbnb, but it would be an expensive Airbnb, that's for
Y-
sure.
Yeah. I mean, but there are definitely people who would stay
I
there,
would
you
pay.
know? I would give my left arm and
Yeah.
my right foot to freaking do that. Um,
You know, we were talking about like with the merch and everything coming back. You know what I would really want them to come back with also?
what?
The makeup collection.
Mm-hmm.
The because I have like the Essence Breaking Dawn lipstick that Kat had gifted to me. But I want them to come out with like the collection they did when Breaking Dawn had been released. Like, oh,
It's just crazy. How many things that we could get out of this kind of like revival? Because I feel like once they see like Hot Topic starting to do something and seeing that it's going really fast, I wonder like how many other people who have sold Twilight stuff in the past are gonna start doing that as well. It's only a matter of time
yeah.
to, time will tell, but dang. We are, I mean, and I'm speaking of Twilight Renaissance, like the fandom party at the Friday fandom party at FTF is Twilight Renaissance themed.
Yes.
Um,
I
it's just like the
I'm so
Twilight
excited.
Renaissance. I think it's Twilight Renaissance Fair or Twilight Renaissance Party, and I know that there's
Yeah.
gonna be some people that are like, you know, dressed up as like how people used to dress to the movie premieres, and I know that there's people going as like Renaissance outfits and things like that. I even had the idea that like I think a big part of the Renaissance was like the memes that came out of Twilight. And so I had even had the idea of dressing up as like a Twilight meme or a Rob meme. I'm not going with that option though because since my surgery I'm losing like a lot of weight and I don't even know what size I'm gonna be then. So like I don't want to buy a whole bunch of pieces and they not fit me. They're too big. So I just bought one
Yeah.
dress. It's a dress and it has like a Renaissance print on it and it looks really cute. So we'll see how that goes. By the way, it's already given me our 10-minute warning.
shit.
I know
Okay.
we're at 8 minutes, but
I have yet to figure out what my outfit's gonna be for the party, but it's gonna be killer because I'm either gonna be 2000s glamour
hmm,
or I'm gonna be Edward sleep paralysis demon meme.
yes, that's great. Yeah, there's just you can make that glamour also. I was thinking about going as the swag Rob when I was going as my and I had found the perfect like pieces to go with it, but I was just like, ugh, it's a lot. So we'll see. We'll see how that goes. But what else? I mean, what else has happened in the Twilight world since Midnight Sun came out? I mean, there's just been so much. I feel like lots of TikTokers who have like hundreds of thousands of followers,
Well,
um, just from talking
yep,
about Twilight
podcasters.
podcasts. And
Yeah,
the amount of like,
I mean, I'm admit I haven't. Mhm,
no, I was gonna say the amount of like
mhm.
Etsy or shop creators or people, stickers or shirts or things like that have been
Yeah,
really popping off.
yeah. I haven't really been too into the recent like renaissance that's been going on. I haven't really been on social media that much. I've been reading a lot of books and like going on book talk, but every now and then I'll see like with the hot topic thing and just like every now and then I'll see like something trending and I'm all like, wait a minute, what why is this trending? Because
Hmm.
it's like Twilight or was like Edward or all this. Like I think when Taylor got engaged, Team Jacob was trending.
Yeah, and I think it was trending because his wife has like publicly said, or his fiance, I think at some point has said that when she was growing up she was Team Edward. And so when they got it is like but she ended up with Jacob. So
Yeah.
so people said that that was like a thing. And so that was super cool, but yeah, I mean there's just like so many things that are I think that can possibly happen with this new kind of thing that's going on. And I think this I feel like every time there's a renaissance it's like okay, this is only the beginning. But I feel like
Yeah.
we've been at the beginning for like 2 or 3 years now. So who knows what'll happen.
Who knows? A
I do
lot could happen.
we are supposed to get two more books that are in the same Twilight world. So,
She's got her outlines. So
so we'll
we could
see.
very well in this decade get another Twilight book.
Yeah. And I
Is it going
mean,
to be the one that I want? I doubt it. But am I going to read it? You bet.
yeah, it's probably not going to be anything that anyone wants, but I mean, I'm going to read it, you know.
Like what I want, a Volturi book. What I'm going to get, Renesmee.
Renesmee, yeah. Oh Lord. I mean, and I think even it's so crazy because when I went on my vacation in June, by the way, we have 4 minutes, but well, yeah. But when I went on my vacation in June, it was so crazy because like when you go to FTF and there's people at the collection, there's a lot of people because it's like FTF, right? But then I guess you never really
Yeah.
assume that there's gonna be a lot of people on like outside of it, right? When I went November of last year, and and we were there for the wedding, or and there were I mean we passed by the collection, we didn't really see people there. Now I went this past summer, in June. One of the days we went up to Forks because Cherish and Justin, who has the Edward robe from New Moon, Taylor, who does is a Taylor ceramics. She does like Twilight mugs. A couple other people were there, so we were gonna go say hi, and then we were all gonna go eat at Bella Italia. Well, Cherish was and Justin were working at the collection. We passed by and there was a line of tons of people there. And it was just like, and then I mean,
Wow.
yeah, it was like, and then they said that it's constantly like that, like it was constant. So there's something happening. There's something in the water, the Twilight
We'll
water.
wait to see.
Yeah, but
Well, guys, we're coming up
yeah, I
to
was
the
like, I
end.
think that's it.
Yeah. So you made it. We're back. Okay.
Yes,
We're back. This is episode 2 of season 2, the fourth, fifth, sixth set coming of the Twilight Resurrection Revival, whatever you want to call it, because
mm-hmm,
you've probably seen it somewhere on social media with one of those names.
mm-hmm,
So we had fun talking. We definitely are going to have more to discuss. I mean, every now and then we'll probably in future episodes give updates of what
yeah,
is happening in the world of Twilight and fandom behavior. But we hope you'll come back for our September episodes where we're going to be doing he's a 10, she's a 10, but and then don't forget to stick around for our FTF vlogs and recap.
yes, and we'll also be maybe uploading a couple of extra videos here and there. Just about our maybe showing off our entire Twilight collections because we have Twilight collection, guys. So if you want to just stick around, subscribe, follow us on all of our social media, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter. I think that's it. I think that's it.
Yep,
So,
that's it.
follow us on YouTube, subscribe, follow us on Spotify, and you can find us on Spotify, Google Podcasts, Anchor, and a couple of extras that we will definitely be sharing with y'all. Hopefully, it's already shared by now, but we will see you guys later. Peace out.
Yep.
Bye.